Thank you for your patience on the Columbus Crew post-game press conference line. We should begin in the next few minutes. Thank you for your patience. We now welcome MLS Cup champion and Columbus Crew head coach Caleb Porter. Thanks, Caleb, for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
For months now, you said winning MLS Cup was the goal of your team. Mission accomplished for you and the crew. It's your second Cup title and the second for the club. How'd you do it?
A lot of work. You know, what a long journey to this point. Started last year. Last year, first half of the year was a rough start. Obviously, it was a transition, but you saw mid-season, that we started to get, our playing style going. We started to get players in that could execute, and the mentality, which is so important to winning, started to grow. And then this year, it carried right into this year. From day one, we didn't lose a preseason game. I think we won the first 5 games, and I really think there was a period where we won 1 and 7. As much as everybody was panicking, we weren't as a staff, we weren't as a team. And in some ways that probably made us tougher, made us stronger, like the entire year, all the adversity that we had. This is a pretty special date, 12/12, and it's a very special stadium. 16 years ago, 2004, as an assistant coach at IU, I won on this pitch on December 12th, ironically, in my mentor Jerry Yeagley's last year. People don't talk about Jerry Yeagley, but because he's never been a pro coach, but he's one of the best coaches, soccer coaches ever, and won 5 national championships. And I started learning from him, and I cut my teeth with him, and I won a championship on this field on 12/12, ironically. And 10 years ago, 2010, on 12/12, I won a national championship at Akron, a city that no one talks about a lot up the street, city that I was proud of, Akron. We won a national championship. And then obviously 5 years ago, we won a championship, not on 12/12, but 12/6, but on this field. So I don't know. You tell me, is it meant to be? I believe so. I really do. I look for a story. When I take jobs, I want to be passionate about those jobs. And my overwhelming feeling after the match was for the fans, what they've been through to save the team. And I was very motivated to bring a trophy back to them, because I took one from them, obviously, in 2015 on this pitch.
Thanks, Coach. We'll get started with the Q&A. The first 2 questions will go to Jeff Carlisle, followed by Paul Tenorio. Jeff?
Hey, Caleb, congratulations. You talked about your team's mentality, but obviously you received a bit of a body blow late in the week with the news about Pedro Santos and Darlington Nagbe. How did what was your approach to kind of keep your team mentally strong? And also going back to that earlier injury, I mean, how much did you draw on that in terms of your message, within the last few days?
Yeah. I believe a championship is won in the day-to-day process, how you play, the mentality that you have. Our guys became winners this year. I said that after the last game. A lot of good players, a lot of good teams, but not all those players are winners, champions, and not all those teams are championship caliber teams. You need to have a special fiber, and you need to fight and work and have a strong mentality, a winning mentality every single day. I believe that's the difference. Every team in this league now, they play pretty good. They have good players, but the psychology of winning, that mentality every day, and that vision, to do something special. That's what sports is about. So when we have adversity, and I say this all the time, you can be PTSD or you can be PTG, and PTG is post-traumatic growth. And I actually believe that you grow more than ever in adversity. I've grown more than ever this year. My team and my players have grown more than ever. And so when we have adversity like this week, we use it the right way. We handle it the right way, because life, there's a lot of adversity. There's a lot of ups and downs. You get bloodied. I'm an underdog. I've been bloodied a lot. I've won a lot. I've had to fight for everything I've gotten. Being a college coach, not being a pro player very long, 1 year. And I've had to, prove myself. I had to come to this league and prove myself. And, I do this for the players. I do this for the moments like today. I do it for the guys in that locker room. I love every one of them. That's what life's about. That's why I coach.
Thanks, Coach. The next three questions, Paul Tenorio, followed by Jacob Myers, followed by Patrick Murphy. Paul?
Caleb, part of the idea of keeping the way you want to play and the belief in how you were going to play despite losing those guys was having faith in the guys to step up that were taking the role. One of them's a 19-year-old kid who has started 2 games this season. What did you say to those 2 guys, and especially to a kid like Aiden, who's going into such a massive moment, the youngest ever to start an MLS Cup? And just a quick follow-up to that, 3 years ago, I was in Crew Stadium and at Matfra, and I saw Aiden. He was holding a sign that said "Save the Crew Academy." He was part of that movement. Can you comment on just his journey to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in young players if they're good enough. I think there's a lot of talk about playing young players. I like to play young players. I've played a ton of young players. Some of those are foreign. I remember Marco Farfan. He was a homegrown kid, was 17 when I gave him his debut. Alvis Powell was 18 when I gave him his debut. Obviously, I played Sebastian Berhalter. I played Aiden Morris. I gave, Boubacar Keita. I don't. Finish it and get the fuck in here. So if a guy's good enough, I'm going to give him a chance. But if he's not, I'm not. I'm not a lover of playing young guys just to do it. But Aiden Morris is a winner. He's a fighter. I knew it. I've seen it in the games I played him. I've seen it in training. And for me, when I knew that Darlington was out, he was the guy that was going to go in. He's the IU boy. IU breeds champions. They breed winners. He's a homegrown kid, and I thought he was unbelievable today. Got around, tackled, tackling and defending and winning duels for some reason has become a curse word. But in any good team in the world, they have a guy that's going to win balls. And he won a ton of balls today. So did Artur. Those 2 guys were key today against Ludero. They have an exceptional midfield. You saw we came out, we pressed, we didn't sit back. But when we had to be in a low block. We were organized. This team has been prepared for every phase, and you saw that today. We went a little more direct. That's what the game called for. I thought that gave them a lot of problems. And we played in transition a little bit more. So that was the main tweak. We knew we weren't going to have as much of the ball without Darlington and Pedro. So we decided to play a little bit more direct, and we decided to play in transition. And I tell my guys all the time, ideally, if you tell me how I want to play, we're going to be up the field with the ball for the whole game and press, possess, run, have control, counter pressure. But if we have to, we can play in transition. If we have to, we can play in a low block. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's good tactical football. And, teams that aren't the top 4 in every league in the world have to do that. For some reason in our country, sometimes when you do those things, you're not playing the right way. But for me, I don't believe in that. I think it's about being adaptable.
We see all your hands raised. We're going to try to get to as many of you as possible. The next 3 are Jacob Myers, Patrick Murphy, and Brian Dunseth. Jacob?
Thanks. Caleb, I hope you're able to dry off soon after that. It wasn't just Lucas or Aiden or Derek kind of stepping in there, but you got contributions when you needed it all over the field. Do you feel like this was overall the kind of most complete performance you guys had this year?
Unbelievable. We were not going to let history in the past, as much as I have the utmost respect for Seattle Sounders and Brian Smetzer and Ladero and Jordan Morris and Rio Diaz. I mean, are you kidding me? These guys are unbelievable players, Roldan and Stefan Fry. We were not going to let history in the past determine today. This is our year. This was going to be our year. It was going to be our day. It was going to be our trophy. And that was the message before the game. I don't care what they've done in the past. It's going to be decided on today. And I think we showed that. We came out, we fought, we had intensity in the match from the opening whistle. We had 2 corners in, I think, the first 3 minutes. Pressed, countered. We did what we needed to. We fought. And we're talking guys like Luis Diaz, who, when I got him, I don't even think he knew how to defend at all. And he was tracking back and digging in and grinding. And Giassi's battling for balls in the air. And Jonah Mensah, what a beast he is. He's just heading the ball out. And I think there was a little bit of extra motivation to do this for Darlington Nagbe and Pedro Santos. Those 2 guys, they were a key to us getting here. And without them, it was a tall order. But I think we used that to galvanize the group even more and give us even a little bit more hunger than we had already, which was a lot.
The next 3, Patrick Murphy, Brian Dunseth, and then Ivis Galarsip. Patrick?
Caleb, your opening press conference, you told us you wanted to bring trophies to this club, put trophies in the trophy case. When you are out there after this game, you're on the stage, you're in front of those fans, what's going through your mind given how you came into this job with that kind of statement?
Yeah. Number one, the players, my feeling for them, being in the locker room with them every day, being in the trenches, if you will, with them every single day, and all the times that we've talked, trained, played games, won, lost, been on Zoom calls. For me, that's the first thing I think of is the players. And wow, unbelievable group of guys. I love them all, honestly, like a family to me. Some people say that, but it's true for me. I love every single one of them. I can't tell you how proud I am of all of them, how much they gave this year. And they'll remember this forever. I believe in leaving legacies, making history. That's what sports is about. We left a legacy. Everybody's going to remember 2020. Everybody used to talk about 2008. That's still going to be a year that everybody talks about, and all those players that were on that team, they'll celebrate. Well, 2020 is going to be a year in this club's legacy that everybody's going to talk about, and these players are going to talk about, and these fans are going to remember it, and these players are going to remember it. And life is short. Life is short, and sports and bringing a group together to ignite a community, to make memories with that group of guys in the locker room, that is what it's about. It's about that. It's not about the money. It's not about as much as you think, ego, fame. It's about the simple stuff, winning together and bringing a community together and igniting the fans. And when you think about how the fans are going to feel today, that was the second thing that I thought about when I ran down the sideline, because I took one from them in 15. I came here to bring one back to them and to give them a trophy. And I was so happy for them. And it makes me feel really good that they get a trophy tonight, because I promised them a trophy and I was happy that I could bring it to them.
All right, next to Ives Galarsip, followed by Charles Bohm. Ives?
And Caleb, congrats on the championship. Can you hear me?
Yep, thank you.
Perfect. So, as a coach, obviously, when you won that first title here, actually in Columbus, funny enough, 5 years ago, how much after that did you start thinking to yourself, I can't just win one? They can't be seen as a fluke. I need to show that I can do it again. And secondly, when you ran around the stadium, obviously you're celebrating with the fans, but it felt like there was a release there for you. Was that you finally being able to kind of let go after all you went through and all you dealt with and all the times you had to take punches and suck it up to put a brave face for the team? Was that a release at that point?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the older you get, I think you realize how hard it is to win a trophy. I used to think it was easy because when I was at Indiana, we won. We were in the Final Four every year, and we won 2 as an assistant. And then I went to Akron. I was in 2 finals and won 1 there. And when you're young, similar to Aiden Morris, you don't think about the magnitude sometimes and what you're doing. You just expect it, and I do. I expect to win every game. I expect to win a trophy every year. Sometimes maybe people think that's naive or, bold or brash, but, I learned to win at IU. I carried that to Akron, carried that to Portland, and I carried that here. And I hate losing. I mean, there's nothing I hate more in life. I'm scared of actually failure. I'm scared of losing. I hate it. So it drives me every day. And so when you win a trophy and you realize, after doing this a long time, which is why I can't believe like a guy like Bruce Arena, how many times he's won, because it's unbelievable. Smetzer, what he's done in a short time. People don't realize how hard it is to win a trophy. So, and I think again, the fans, I just felt so good for them. So good for them because they deserve that. They've been through a lot. And to some extent, I think they were probably never going to like me until I brought a trophy to them. And I knew that a little bit when I took the job, that there would be kind of a catch-22. They'd be happy I came, but only if I won a trophy for them.
Next question, Charles Bohm.
Hey, Caleb, congrats. There was a moment that the cameras caught with you and Jonah Mensah. He was clearly emotional, and you talked about him before. Could you share a little bit of that interaction and any other ones maybe that you had with your players in that moment?
All those guys, every single one of them I love. Love every single one of them. Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to love your players. I do. Maybe that's a fault of mine. Maybe it's, in some ways, I think I said it at Portland. I knew it was either going to be me or them. And I chose to leave. I think a cycle is there, whether it's 3, 4, 5 years and coach leaves or players leave, or both. And, I'm a loyal guy. And when I have guys that perform and give what, I need them to give to win trophies, it's special to me, really, really special to me. So, seeing Jonah Mensah become the player that he's become this year, for me, the best defender in the league, a warrior, a captain, an unbelievable leader. And I'll tell you that he was crying. I'll tell you what, he was crying after the game, crying. He was a grown man, and he was crying because of Darlington Nagbe not being able to be there, and he wanted to win for him. That was a big motivation. Those 2 guys are like best friends, and they have a special bond, those 2 guys. And so I think he wanted to win for Darlington today.
All right, we're going to do the last question because Coach has to head to the locker and dress his team, but we will recommend the journalists to switch over to the Champions Mix Zone link after we finish here with Coach. The last question here goes to Sam Stayskool. Sam?
Thanks, Marisabel. Caleb, congratulations. Incredible achievement. You've talked a lot about a bunch of your players. I don't think you've had the chance to mention Lucas just yet. He was incredible tonight. Can you just describe his performance for us?
Unbelievable. Hey, I've coached good players. This guy's unbelievable. If you rewatch the game, I don't think he had a wrong step for 90 minutes. And he just got the ball every time. He carved space for himself all the time. We shared a great moment after the game. He said something that I'll never forget. He told me I changed his life. And I told him he changed my life. I brought him here to win championships, brought him here. He seemed to be looking for something new to stimulate him, reinvigorate him. These guys are people. Yeah, they make money. Yeah, they got to perform. But they're people. And a lot of times I've seen this with guys, they cutthroat, they sell their souls a little bit and they lose their way. And, he came here and I think he looks like a new man, but he's an unbelievably special player. Unbelievable.
All right, with that, Coach, we thank you for your time and congratulations once more.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate this year, and I'm going to go party.
Thanks, Coach. Journalists, if you can stay on this line for a player who will be made available, or you can also switch over to the Champion Mix Zone, which is now at the bottom of your screen in the chat. You can click there, and there will be more players available in a Mix Zone setting on that Zoom link. It will provide an update in the next few minutes in terms of who will be next on this line here.